Good afternoon, Soul Family. We're going to have to try and do this quick because it's late and I'm working and I don't think you can go outside, chicken. It's too hot. So, fire signs. No, you know what? That's earth signs. That orange cat, that'll be earth signs. This will be fire signs. This will be water signs. That'll be air signs. Okay? No, you know what? I'm not doing those again. Just choose from whatever you want. You can choose from this one. This little orphan kitty with the chipped ear. Right? It's pretty bitchin' looking though. You can choose from that one, or the native drum. We're not doing zodiac, I forgot. So you choose why you're drawn. Why are you drawn to that? Why would you be drawn to that one? This one has these are lava stone, and this is clearly a fish. This is rutilated agate and crystal with a butterfly for transformation, Brighton butterfly. This Native American drum, it has avian messenger feathers on it. And you can see that one, okay? So I'm gonna pick the orange cat and the drum. So those are my specific messages. They're all messages as far as I'm concerned, but song, I hear you're a wild one. Took you home would be a long run. Today was a rough day for me. Well, actually, it was yesterday. I get a brand new iPhone, right? And I always have an OtterBox. You know, one of those really ugly, drop kick, proofable, waterproof, you know, to protect it. And I thought, you know what? I'm an adult. I can handle this. I don't have to have an ugly phone case. I can get a pretty mermaid cover, right? Has nothing to do with being an adult. I'm just too rough. I'm a rough and tumble, you know. And what do? Last night, it wasn't even rough. I have this on this little stand, right? And so I went to get it off the stand, and it, I don't know, I just knocked it. It landed right on the floor, completely shattered my screen. Everything was working, but my fingers are bleeding. Are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. So we're starting with the orange cat. So this is who you are. I can't get over this. This is 3 times in, what, 3 days? Or 2 days? So extra close attention to this, Katanga. I'm kind of getting, you know, I'm trying to think of different ways that I can express this card. But here you see a very regal lion. Turn the radio down a bit. And he's listening to that little bird. Now that's interesting. Okay, let's try it. I will try it a little different. Birds represent speech clearly, right? But they also represent tweeting, like Twitter, Instagram, email, you know, like Facebook. So that lion has been getting information from that little bird. You know how you hear a little bird whispered into my ear? So what I want to say about this is be very careful about what you hear that other people say. Make sure that the information that you're getting is from somebody that you can 100% trust your life with. Because there's a lot of lying and manipulating going on, and a lot of gossip and a lot of jealousy, and unfortunately a lot of, you know, people with hidden agendas. And it's sad because a lot of times, you know, it's even your family or friends, you know, they may want you to do something a certain way. They may even be trying to protect you in their mind. They may be doing what they feel is in your highest good. But it may not be what you want. So be very careful. Be discerning. You're a lion. You know, you're connected. The lion is absolutely connected to the divine masculine. So the message here is Spirit wants you to step into a leadership role. Now, what's interesting is I'm looking at 2 of them, right? And yes, it could be, generally this message is in this card is talking about the lion. Whoever represents the lion, you know, it could be any of us. We all have those qualities within us, right? Dramatic, ambitious, wise, inspiring, courageous, passionate, regal, from a royal blood. I mean, we've all got that within us. But what if it's not talking about the lion? What if it's talking about the little bird? You need to step up. You underestimated sparrow, the one that nobody really pays much attention to. The one that they may think of very little significance with this little bird. But you notice that lion's paying attention to that bird, right? So maybe if you're looking at personalities here and other people in your workplace or your family or your whoever the people you run with, whatever, if they were to look at two different people, they see one like this and they see one like this. But that's because that's how they're judging the situation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Or this is how you guys are seeing each other. You see yourself like that. You see yourself like that. I get that because I'm a little person and I feel like I'm tall, right? So basically it's telling you that you need to stay focused on your goal no matter what you are, no matter what anybody else has to say or think about you. Recognize that we all have the lion within us. We all also have the ability, because this underestimated sparrow, this is a bird that speaks about self-worth. So it's reminding you of the importance of having faith and self-love. This little bird is called the victory sparrow. This is the one, like I said, the long shot horse, the comeback kid, the one that nobody expects to, step forward into the light. And that's what's actually being asked here. Don't back away from the spotlight. So what if this person who's a higher up, somebody from a big corporation or the head of the company or somebody in your religious group that you look up to, or your spiritual group, even a mentor, comes to you and asks you for something? I had that happen. I had somebody very, very high up in the spiritual community ask me for a reading, and I was terrified. He was very haughty. He was very full of in his head. He had grown. His kingdom had grown. Basically, his kingdom. He had forgotten his place, and that's why Spirit used me as this lowly sparrow to teach this one, because his head had gotten way too big for his shoulders. And he came to me and asked me for a reading, and he of course listed off all of his accomplishments, that he had many books that he'd written and many seminars that he had conducted, and he was very well known. And I thought, then why are you coming to me? But it was happening. Spirit was having it happen on purpose. I don't know why he came to me. I don't know why he thought he came to me, but he was guided to come to me. And he was very cocky, very arrogant, and he thought he was going to make fun of me or put me down, or maybe, I don't know. Clearly his spirituality was upside down. The person had forgotten his path and why he was doing what he was doing. He wasn't coming from a place of love. He was full of ego, and there is no ego in Spirit. None. So I did the reading, and he got smacked, and he didn't like it, and he berated me, told me off. I was so scared. I was scared. I keep going back to Moses and the Pharaoh, because that's what it felt like. I felt like I didn't even have the right words. I wasn't qualified. It was when I first began. So this is another message, that you may not feel qualified, but you are. And what happened is, after he told me off, he said he would give me another opportunity to prove myself, and he asked for another reading. Well, he got even more harshly told off. And I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to go to him. And a spiritual person that was working with me at the time, she says, you deliver the message. You're a channel. That's it. This is your message. It's not, it's not your message. It's Spirit's message. Give him the message. So I did, and he lost his shit. Very angry. Did not like what he heard. And then he came back to me. He told me off. I have the emails saved somewhere on my computer. Oh, it was on my old computer. I don't know if I transferred them over, but I got to tell you, I was shaking. I was so upset. I was new at this. This is when Spirit wanted me to do this work, and I was so scared to do it. I didn't know if I'd find the right words. So I did the reading again. And at this time, he after berating me and putting me down, and he was very rude. He says, you get one opportunity. And he got, basically what the message said was, you have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten who gave you your gifts. You've forgotten your place and why you're doing what you're doing. It was awful. And I sent it off, and I thought, I'm going to go nowhere in this work, right? Because this guy's going to blacklist me. He wrote me back, told me how dare I, and who do I think I am, and I don't know anything, and I don't even know what I'm talking about, and this is not something that you should do, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and he deleted and blocked me, and I was crying and shaking, and I wrote to my friend, and I told her, and she said, everything that happened was not on you, it was on him. He was full of ego. Spirit was clearly sending him a message, and he didn't like it. You did nothing wrong. You gave the message. You were correct in the message that you gave. Let it go. But I got to tell you, it literally stopped me from doing my spiritual work for a couple months. I was afraid. I didn't want to do it again. So this is a message to us that We may have tried something, and maybe we've been put on the spot. We've had somebody that was in a higher position, or somebody that maybe, what if this is a guy and a girl, this beautiful girl, right? Gorgeous girl, and you ask her out, and you want to kind of fit into her society, and she just berates you and puts you down, makes you feel like an idiot. You don't even want to have a relationship. Or if it's a guy, you don't trust anyone, right? But these are lessons. These are about standing up for yourself. You will be successful as long as you focus on the big picture. So now what I was doing at that time is I was worried. All I could focus on was I didn't know what I was doing. That's what I lost all confidence in myself. But the fact is, I didn't have to know what I was doing, because when my hands pick the cards, I'm guided. Spirit knows the messages that I'm supposed to. I'm a channel. It just works that way. It's always been that way. If I do a reading for you, the cards that I choose are the cards you're meant to have. It's always accurate. But at that time, I didn't have enough faith in myself. So we need to call upon Spirit and ask for help with us. Don't be afraid. Don't shy away. Even if you've had a bad experience, you need to step up into the light. Stay focused on what you're doing. This is your work, right? Or whatever it is. Whatever your goal is, that's your focus. And all you have to do is be your truthful, authentic self. Come from, what would love say, what would love do? How do you conduct yourself? You do that. And whatever happens, happens. From that point, it's outside of the realm of anything to do with you. That's now in Spirit's hands, right? So right now, you're being asked to stand up. Now, maybe we're going to take the emphasis off of the King of Spring, even though I know that we're talking about this. I've just done this too many times. Now the emphasis is on this sparrow. This one, he's got a snarl on his face, but he's listening, right? Your confidence. Are you nervous? Wow, look who you're standing in front of. Look who you're, somebody that maybe you look up to, that you admire. You feel intimidated. For some reason, you feel intimidated, but you're up on top of that tree that's brought you almost to eye level, right? You're good. And Spirit's asking you to do this. And when you speak that way, you're inspiring others like you who might be too afraid to do that. Also, they're talking about delegating authority, so maybe ask for some help. Call upon Spirit. You don't have to do it. It's like all your own. We don't have to do everything all ourselves. I posted something on Facebook this morning. Let's see if I can pull it up. My computer's transferring a bunch of files, so it may take a while. I think I only posted just a very couple things today. We don't always have to clean up everything. Sometimes we can sit back and let Spirit do the work for us. Just let it flow. So do your part, and then that's it. That's it. That was my part. It's kind of like I went to the Apple store today, right? I smashed my phone, and I had to get it fixed. I was there for hours. And everybody has a job. One guy just checks you in. The other guy checks on where your part is in the back. The other person checks on. Nobody does anything other than that. That is their job. That's all their job is. So all your job is to deliver the message. Or all your job is to do whatever that is that's in front of you at this moment. So this one here, this is clearly somebody that you're looking up to. This is an inspiring, ambitious, wise, regal king that's standing in front of you, right? But he needs to keep his mind focused on Spirit, which was the message that I was supposed to deliver to the king. And he did not like it, but that wasn't my problem. You've got to get to the place where you do what you know you're supposed to do, and whatever happens you're not going to carry it. Let it be on this one. The way that guy behaved, I shouldn't have felt bad. I shouldn't have been embarrassed. He should have been embarrassed. His behavior was shameful. And it was clearly showing that this person was not who he was presenting himself to be. He came across as this great spiritual teacher, but that's not how you treat people. So right now, Spirit's saying, careful of this guy, give your message, and then let it go. This guy does not like to be upstage. This guy wants to be in the light. This guy likes his position of authority. He's the king of the jungle, right? He's got that. He wants to be the star. He's got great qualities. He really does. He takes care of his family. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He walks with an air of confidence. There's many, many things about this particular, whoever this represents in your life. But they've got a lot of ego in them. So that is not a spiritual quality. So that already elevates you. to the place where you shouldn't feel less than. Because when you come across as a humble servant, a humble anything, you're already in the highest light. It's all in the way you look at it. Now, in the 3D world or the worldly world, you know, people that are not awake, they don't see it that way, but that's okay, because we don't live in that world. We live in a spiritual world. So he represents loyalty as well, but so do you. You're being loyal to your path, loyal to yourself. You're also being very kind because you're delivering something to this one, or you're asking, you're doing something for this one. They should be grateful. They should be grateful that you took the time to come there, to stand up against somebody or speak your truth to somebody you feel intimidated by. They should take that into account, and that's why this king is listening. He realizes it took a lot for you to come up and speak to this one. Maybe you're asking someone out and you're very, very shy. That's recognizable. Maybe you're new in a position and you're approaching the head of the company. He remembers, or he should remember, when he was beginning, right? It also is a way for us to remember where we began and where we can be. At one time, he was just a kitten, right? He wasn't always the king of the jungle. He was there at one time too. Okay, the message that you're going to get next, it's going to be from the relationship cards. I love these cards. If we get bumped off, you guys, I'll have to do this in 2 parts. Like I said, they told me it would be $29 to replace my screen on my brand new phone since I was under warranty. I thought, all right, you know, waste half the day, but okay. So I go down there and do it, and by the time they finished it, they gave me a bill, $170. So I got to work today and pay for that. Woo! Look at that, Soulmate. Interesting. Now I find this really intriguing, since they go together. These are clarifying cards. So who is seen as the lion and who is seen as the sparrow of victory? The victorious sparrow. Now, like I said, there's many ways of looking at this, because these two could see themselves as equal, right? But maybe this one's friends see this one that way, or maybe this one's friends see this one less than. Why are you even bothering, right? They clearly don't, because they're soulmates. They see themselves as an even light. So it shows me that they've kind of got odds that they've got to deal with. This one's having a conversation with this one, maybe explaining something. I don't know, but this sparrow sees this one as a king. I don't think that this king sees this sparrow as less than. I'm sure they see one another the same, because they're soulmates. Could be also that this king wants to protect this little one, right? This one is this one's leaning into this one. Look at how comfortable they are to one another. They're in the desert, so music. They're in harmony. Puffy clouds, look at the puffy clouds. Passion, love. The desert. So the desert would represent, maybe they've gone through a dry spell, right? They've been away from one another for a very long time. And now they're finally together, and they can finally relax. She tells the truth. Look at her eyes, the blue. They're both connected, right? These two are definitely connected. The birds represent freedom. They don't feel trapped in this relationship. They choose to be with one another, freely together. He's wearing a lapis cuff. And what's the green one? Maybe it's beryl crystal. That would be nice. All I know is this is a beautiful relationship. The connection is unmistakable. Your soul now joyously leaps with recognition and sets your heart on fire, welcoming the presence of a great love into your life. Well, that's a cool way to put it. This is a great love. That's why you see it this way. You no doubt feel the same about one another. I see my spiritual twin. I don't see him as a king. I see him as an emperor. But, you know, there you go. The highest light, right? And this one no doubt would see their counterpart the same. But this is a brand new world. It's a brand new time for these ones. There's no doubt with this connection. I love that. Hearts on fire. That's beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Okay, next message. We're going to go to the big cat, fat cat, with the fish necklace. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Soulmates, we have all kinds of soulmates, right? We have karmic soulmates. My son is my soulmate. You can have a friend that's a soulmate. But this one was speaking about love, hearts on fire. So there is a difference. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Four of Winter. So whenever you see the animal totem, the koala bear, it speaks about speaking less and listening more. And you can see that this one is not speaking. This one is resting. This one is meditating. They're in the trees. They're getting grounded, right? That's what trees do. They help you get grounded. This is a very gentle, sweet, loving teddy bear. And they're asking you to think things through carefully before you make any decisions. They don't want you to overanalyze, because that just ties things up in a knot. So this one is literally closing their eyes and going into meditation to seek the answers from within. 4, there are angels all around you. You are completely guided, protected, and loved. There is no reason for fear. That's the first message that this one gets when they go into meditation. Because if you connect with your highest self, you know that there really is never any reason for fear. Now, winter would represent frozen emotion. However, 4 of Winter. So I would believe it might be the 4 of Swords. It could be the 4 of, well, it's not the 4 of Air. Winter. 4 of Winter. Because I think about the cold steel. 4 of Swords. Well, regardless, this one is resting. Maybe it's time for a retreat. Maybe you need to have a retreat before you make your decision on something. Or, yeah, it's the 4 of Swords. It's about taking some time out to think things through. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? You're going to get answers in meditation. I spoke to my spiritual twin last night, and he literally answered me. He told me a few things. It was interesting to listen to him, the way he spoke. I totally got what he was saying. So this is about, as I said, maybe pull back a little bit before you make a decision. Maybe you're tired. You're just tired. It's time for a break. Time to go on a retreat. Time to go on a vacation. Spend some time in nature, clearly. But maybe they just want you to put your mind to rest, right? Stop overthinking. It doesn't change the situation. It's not going to give you the answers when you overthink. You get more confused. So you need to quiet your mind. Also, it tells you that you're tired. I am. I'm exhausted. Jeez. I was up all night doing those dreams with my twin and then trying to figure out with my phone, and my screen was all shattered, so I was slicing my fingers up because it was, broken glass. And then I had just stress when I got there. All kinds of things went sideways. And that's literally what I was getting. I said to my landlord, why did this happen? It just cost me a fortune for nothing and all this time, and I need a break. I just need to rest, right? It was stressful. So it's about anti-stressing, decompressing, relaxing. Also, when I was there, I had to spend a lot of time just waiting. Anything that we did, it was going to take time. And the message was, you're just going to have to be patient. I swear I thought I came into this world to learn how to be patient, but I think that's not what it was. I think I came into this world to surrender. So that's also an act of surrender being asked of you. So you've thought about it, you've tried to figure it out, and maybe you're to a place where you don't know what the message is. So at this point, just surrender it to spirit. And this one came out, like literally flipped out. So you see, transformation. This is a clarifier. So something's happening, right? You've been thinking about something. You're trying to make a decision on something. Well, there's a new birth happening. Is it a new project? Is it a new relationship? Do you have plans on the horizon? Something's about to happen, right? This one is taking care of herself. This one, you're supposed to rest, go into nature. Well, this one, clearly, as an almost mother-to-be, it's really important that she takes care of herself. So if you're birthing something into life, you've been working very hard, and you've done the work. So now it's like I got my message today. Now's the time to just wait. Just relax. The sun is coming up. The waters are a little bit choppy, a little bit emotionally choppy, but it's puffy clouds, so it's good. And you're reclining back on a green cushion, which is love and healing, and there's hearts all around it and passionate curtains. This is a good thing. This is happy. You struggle with confusion as you move towards your potential, but trust the changes that will bring more love and fulfillment than you ever dreamed possible. So right here, this one was don't overanalyze, and you've been struggling, right? So stop the struggle is basically what it is. Trust. Something beautiful is coming.